Did you know that the Indo-Pacific Ocean accounts for over 50% of the world's surface area and contributes more than 60% of global GDP? With this immense scale, the Indo-Pacific's strategic value becomes clear. Spanning the Indian and Pacific Oceans, the Indo-Pacific stretches from the west coast of the United States all the way to the eastern shores of Africa. It includes major powers like China, Japan, India, Australia, ASEAN nations, and many more. Zooming in on Northeast Asia first, the Western Pacific contains several of the world's most important shipping lanes used for global trade and energy shipments. Like the South China Sea, East China Sea, and waters around Indonesia. As U.S. Indo-Pacific Command Chief Admiral John Aquilino stated, the Indo-Pacific is the most consequential region for America's future. This quote underscores the geostrategic significance of this region. Control over these maritime corridors has become central to the strategic calculus and rivalries between major powers like the US, China, Japan, and India. Freedom of navigation through Indo-Pacific waters is critical for global commerce. In particular, China's growing naval capabilities and assertive actions have disrupted the traditional regional order. Chinese President Xi Jinping has declared ambitions to make China the preeminent military power in the Indo-Pacific by 2049. This goal has led China to undertake provocative moves like constructing artificial islands in the South China Sea and militarizing them with missiles, airfields, and radar systems. China claims nearly the entire South China Sea as its sovereign territory. By establishing these military bases in disputed waters, China aims to solidify its territorial claims and project power across Southeast Asia. But China's actions have stoked rivalries with neighboring states who hold competing claims in the South China Sea. Tensions are also simmering in the East China Sea between China and Japan, who contest sovereignty over the Senkaku Islands, known as the Diaoyu Islands by China. Japanese Defense Minister Nobuo Kishi has stated that China's routine dispatching of ships into the disputed waters represents a grave matter that affects national security. This quote reflects Japan's concerns. Looking west, India too watches China's naval expansion warily. India has ramped up security partnerships with Southeast Asian states to counterbalance China's regional dominance. This underscores India's geopolitical stakes across the broader Indo-Pacific. The most prominent strategic rivalry taking shape is undoubtedly between the United States and China as they compete for primacy. The U.S. has been the dominant power in the Indo-Pacific since World War II, a status it is determined to maintain against China's challenge. The U.S. aims to contain China's rise by strengthening military alliances with Japan, Australia, India, and others. Maintaining freedom of navigation across the Indo-Pacific remains a core U.S. priority. For China's part, it seeks to hasten U.S. military retreat from the region by pressuring U.S. allies, expanding its naval reach, and challenging U.S. dominance in areas like the South China Sea. Control over Indo-Pacific trade routes would boost China's global leverage. As Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi stated, the Pacific Ocean is vast enough to accommodate both China and the United States. This reflects China's determination to gain greater influence in the region alongside the U.S. This intensifying strategic competition between the U.S. and China has spilled into the military and economic realms. The U.S. has increased freedom of navigation operations challenging Chinese claims in the South China Sea. Both sides are rapidly modernizing their armed forces and expanding deterrence capabilities. Meanwhile, trade frictions remain heightened. U.S.-China technology decoupling has accelerated in sensitive areas like semiconductors, 5G telecom, and quantum computing. Their strategic rivalry is growing more adversarial by the day. What are the implications of deteriorating U.S.-China ties for the Indo-Pacific's future geopolitical landscape? Here are some potential trajectories. Intensified military brinkmanship around Taiwan, the South China Sea, and other flashpoints. Accelerated arms buildups and counterbalancing alignments like AUKUS and the Quad. Gradually hardened ideological divide akin to a new Cold War emerging. Periods of heightened economic and diplomatic friction. Increasing risk that a localized clash spirals into wider conflict. At the same time, there remain powerful stabilizing factors. The enormous costs of war mean neither side wants direct conflict. Economic interdependence and trade cooperation incentives. Shared global challenges like climate change requiring coordination. Resilience of regional institutions like ASEAN to uphold diplomacy. The strategic rivalry between the US and China looks set to define the 21st century geopolitical landscape across the vital Indo-Pacific region. Competition is here to stay, but conflict is not inevitable. Visionary leadership is essential to keep tensions manageable. Please subscribe for more geopolitical insights. Thank you for watching.